Very important announcement before we begin the video. I have new merch. I have these insanely gorgeous tarot card inspired designs featuring me and my cats. You can get them on black or white t-shirts, on posters. You can even get these full-size wall tapestries of them. I am so in love with these. I think they might be my favorite merch that I've ever made. If you also appreciate them, you can check them out in the description or on the merch shelf down below. Howdy, friends. In September of 2022, Tumblr launched its new live streaming feature, Tumblr Live, in the US. And a few weeks ago, it finally came to a number of other countries, including my own Canada. Tumblr said in its live announcement post, "Your ball pit awaits. What will you stream? Furby lengthening sessions? The Last of Us Part 1 replay? The Locked Tomb Book Club? Frog costume felting?" And I'll give it to them. Those things certainly sound like what a Tumblr user would use live streaming for. And I do understand this connection they're trying to make between Tumblr and live streaming. Tumblr is a platform that's known for its authenticity. Live streaming is a very unfiltered medium. I understand why someone would come up with this, and I don't even think it's a bad idea either. They actually attempted to integrate live streaming into Tumblr for the first time around 2016. They basically made it so that Tumblr posts could support video that was being streamed from YouTube or YouNow. So you could technically watch a live stream on Tumblr, but it was being streamed somewhere else, and it more effectively just served as a link to other platforms. Didn't really add anything to Tumblr, and they very quickly got rid of the feature. Tumblr Live is different. These are streams that are apparently hosted on Tumblr, and they all look like this. You open Tumblr now, and it looks like this. A lot of them are photos of women's bodies. A lot of them show a lot of cleavage. Some of them are just boobs. I'd say most of them are just selfies of conventionally attractive women. Okay, and this is how you know that you have Tumblr brain rot, because there's nothing sinister about a selfie of a conventionally attractive woman on any other social media platform. Like, most people try and make their profile pictures, their selfies, look flattering like this. There's nothing sinister looking about this on any other platform. But on Tumblr there is, because it's giving porn bot. It's giving, if I click on any of these live streams, I will immediately get 2000 malware and die. Tumblr has been tormented for years, for probably at least a decade, by what we have dubbed the porn bots. And they all have these names like Lisa, 87, Beautiful Jane, 96, and they have conventionally attractive woman profile pictures, and if you click on any of the blogs, they're filled with porn gifs, and if you click on anything, you get 2 million malware and die. Some of them will even DM people, try to get their credit card information. So this is what Tumblr Live looks like to most seasoned Tumblr users. And people have really taken this kind of instinctive fear that Tumblr Live instills and really run with it. They've come up with some bonkers theories about what's going on with it. But before we delve any deeper into this video, first I must welcome you to my Helix mattress. Sir? Oh my goodness, sir. Sir, can you tell me, do you love your Helix mattress? Yes? Is that a yes? Are you biting my microphone? Helix makes premium mattresses customized to your needs and conveniently shipped straight to your door. Everyone's different, everyone sleeps differently, which is why Helix Sleep Quiz matches you to your perfect mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. If you sleep with a partner, you can even take the sleep quiz together to find something that's the perfect compromise for the both of you. Based on my quiz results, Helix matched me with the Twilight Luxe mattress. This baby right here. It is their firmest mattress. I do generally prefer a very firm mattress as I have demons in my spine, so it's very easy for me to mess up my day by sleeping on a surface that is not optimal. I've had my Helix mattress for about a year now, and I love it so much. It's way better for my back than my previous mattress was. I was definitely due for an upgrade, and now I've been sleeping great for over a year at this point. So has my girlfriend and our 2 beautiful children. I'm very happy to report that my Helix mattress is 100% Bingus approved. You can personalize your mattress even more by adding the Glaciotex cooling cover, which keeps you cool and comfortable while you sleep. If it makes you nervous to buy a mattress that you haven't tested out in person, don't worry about it, because with Helix, you get a 100-night sleep trial. You can sleep on this baby for 100 days. That's over 3 months. Your Helix mattress also comes with a 10-year warranty. There are financing options and flexible payment plans. Unlike some other brands, Helix mattresses do not contain any fiberglass. Apparently, there's been some lawsuits with other mattress companies about this recently. Not something you need to worry about with Helix. And the best part of all of this is that Helix delivers your mattress straight to your door, and shipping is free within the US. It comes rolled up in a box and then expands once you free it from its cardboard cage. It's super easy to set up yourself. Just make sure you read the instructions before you try doing it. Do as I say, not as I do, kids. I really like my Helix mattress, so if you're in the market for a new bed, make sure you go check them out. You can click the link below, helixsleep.com/strangeeons, to get 20% off your mattress as well as 2 free pillows. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. We need to address this post. This post. Okay, this post is shit. Listen, guys. Listen to me. Especially you people who linked me this post when I said I was researching a video about Tumblr Live. This post sucks. What this post does is it goes through a few points of the Tumblr Live terms of service and privacy policy and makes it out as if the amount of data that Tumblr Live collects is like this obscene, unheard of privacy violation. This then led to rumors that the reason why Tumblr Live was only available in the US for so long was because it was such an egregious violation of online privacy and safety that it was illegal in other countries. You will still find tons of people on Tumblr insisting that Tumblr Live is like illegal in the UK, even though they literally have it in the UK now. This post was a travesty for the already not great reading comprehension of Tumblr. Category 10 piss on the poor moment. What fueled the Tumblr Live conspiracies even more was that this post was deleted by staff for violating community guidelines. So everyone went, oh my god, it's because they don't want us to know. There are a lot of good posts debunking this in even more detail. Highly recommend the ones written by Tumblr user Misdemeanor. Great URL, by the way. She said Live collects about as much data as Twitter or Yelp. Live is significantly less intrusive than any Facebook product, than Amazon, and than any Google product. If you use YouTube logged in, don't worry about Live. She suggests that the reason this post was deleted by staff was for violating the community guidelines on harassment, considering that it tags Tumblr's CEO and instructs people to give him a kind fuck you. Which, considering that the post has over 70,000 notes, I'm sure many people did do. I really need to impress upon you that people hate Tumblr Live. They violently hate this thing. For some made-up reasons, but also for some valid reasons. Because you see, staff and the CEO have been pushing this new feature extremely hard. Like, extremely hard. You are forced to see stream previews, profile pictures of streamers at the top of your dash constantly, and again, if you keep scrolling down, as they're sprinkled in there intermittently. They put the live icon on the navigation bar where it's extremely easy to accidentally click on, which is obviously what they want to happen. You do not have the option to opt out of Tumblr Live. You have the option to snooze Tumblr Live for 7 days. They actually recently updated it to you can snooze it for 30 days, but it now only gets rid of the stream previews on your dash and not the live icon on your navigation bar. That's sticking around. The titty women will always come back. You cannot defeat the titty women.
People are asking to mute Tumblr Live permanently. How much would you pay for that? Well, Live is, we're trying it out.
That is our good friend, Automatic CEO Matt Mullenweg, doing a Q&A on Tumblr Live about various new features and changes to the site.
Allows to snooze Tumblr Live indefinitely, but then you wouldn't be here right now.
Do you guys know how much money Tumblr makes per year? It's a trick question. It's zero, because they actually lose $30 million per year. Tumblr is really desperate for people to use this new feature, and yeah, they're past the point of caring if they piss off a lot of established users. What is there to lose? What is there to lose if you're already losing $30 million per year? Matt explains in this interview that Tumblr either keeps things the way that they are, never changes a thing about the site, and fails. Continues to lose money until they shut down. Or they adapt, they change things, they just keep throwing things at the wall, and they might still fail, but they might not. So that's where they're coming from, and it makes sense. It does not make Tumblr Live less annoying, but it does make logical sense, and I see from their perspective why they have chosen to do this. But that still doesn't explain the content of Tumblr Live. Why isn't it people live streaming longifying their furries and having Locktoon book clubs? Why is it titty women? It's very jarring for Tumblr users to go from Tumblr having very harshly policed not safe for work content since 2018 to having this shoved in your face the moment you open Tumblr and impossible to turn off permanently. You are not allowed to search booty shorts on Tumblr. Booty shorts. Type it into Tumblr and they say, no, how dare you, you disgusting degenerate. Gerard Way would not be pleased with this. I open the app and I am bombarded by hot women in my area with cleavage. It is most certainly a turn of events. Who are these people? Literally, who are these people? Like, there are some men as well, but they seem to fall into the same genre of person. Why are they here? You're trying to tell me that all 30 of the cis straight people on Tumblr decided to adopt Tumblr Live, and not a single normal-seeming user? Why are they on my good Christian dashboard? I am aware, okay, that my orbit of Tumblr is not the only one. I am aware that we as a website harbor tradwives and men who post pictures of trucks and dirt and whatever the hell is going on with Constable Frozen, and every variety of freak, including cishet people. Tumblr is a deep, deep ocean of depravity. Tumblr staff can do whatever it is they gotta do. Matt, he owns the place. He can do what he wants. But if I am going to be forced against my will to look at titty women at least once a week, or once a month now, you heckin' bet it's eventually going to crawl under my skin to the point where I need to understand why. So one day recently, I did the unthinkable. And I clicked on a Tumblr live stream. First of all, I am obsessed with this banner that appears at the top of every single Tumblr live chat. Let's keep live fun. Nudity or obscene behavior will result in account deletion. Modbot is watching to make sure this stream is safe. You can hear the desperation. Really seems to confirm that the appeal of this service to a lot of people is not safe for work, and that they've had a lot of problems with that. Also, literally the first person I clicked on was explaining how she got banned for nudity. That doesn't stop anyone though, they just keep coming back with slightly different usernames. I've only been paying attention to Tumblr Live for maybe like 2 weeks now, but I've already noticed a lot of the common usernames I would see popping up updating, gaining 2s or 3s at the end of them. One was on number 7. Ultimately, I experienced a lot in my first adventure into Tumblr Live. There was people gaming, there was a TERF ranting against trans women, that was a fun one. There was a lot of cameras just like pointed at TV screens with like something playing on the TV or at windows or even at walls. There was one that was straight up a turned off webcam. Some people had this split screen situation going on where they were talking to other users. Some people were just talking with their chat. Those people seemed to be having a good time. There was a lot of people streaming who very much did not seem like influencer type streamers. Like they were just people going about their day-to-day life, cooking, eating, organizing their apartments, driving. I believe that's against the rules for obvious safety reasons, but I saw it. There were other people who had clearly had dedicated streaming setups. There was this one woman who was like making mac and cheese or like something goopy, and she was like feeding it to the camera on a spoon. I'm gonna see her in my nightmares. There was a few people just lounging around, scantily clad, encouraging viewers to DM them. Sex workers using Tumblr Live are definitely a noticeable minority. For some reason, people tend to notice them a lot, but they are still a minority. Obviously, there is no nudity allowed on Tumblr Live. That doesn't stop some people from risking it and coming back with a different account. You can generally tell who those people are because they change their usernames constantly. You can also generally tell because if you go to their blogs, they will say 18 plus, they will say no minors, they will have links to other platforms very prominently displayed. However, there is a stereotype that is what Tumblr Live is. Specifically, that is what it's for. And I have noticed that a lot of women who do not do anything not safe for work on Tumblr Live are more likely to receive harassment and intrusive messages from men because they use Tumblr Live, because there is an assumption that that is what it's for. Every time I watched someone's Tumblr live stream, I would then go and click on their blog. And yes, some of them were empty except for a handful of selfies with OnlyFans links in the captions. A lot of them are very new. I did actually come across a few people with decently old blogs who were streaming on live, although in pretty much every case, those blogs were aesthetic blogs. And in some cases they had gone dead for a couple of years and then revived around the time that Tumblr Live came out. So some of these people did seem like real Tumblr users, but like real Tumblr users from 10 years ago. Not what I think of when I think of a Tumblr user today. Like I said, the people on Tumblr Live, they're straight people. A few of them were also Christians. I didn't watch any one particular person's stream for a very long time. Maybe like 5-10 minutes max, but these people still managed to name drop God or Jesus in that amount of time. Obviously, it's fine that people are straight and Christian, as long as they don't do it in front of my children. It's just indicative that they maybe don't represent the average Tumblr user. I've noticed that the service itself has obvious glitches. When I enter a Tumblr Live, it will announce that Strange ÆONS has entered only if I'm on mobile, not if I'm on desktop. Well, I will not see it if I'm on desktop, but the streamer seems to still be able to see it because some of them will still say hi to me when I enter on desktop. Regardless of whether I'm on desktop or mobile, streamers seem to be seeing a lot of messages that I can't see. Like they're responding to and talking to people that I just cannot see in the chat. My first dip into the Tumblr Live ecosystem was both enlightening and completely baffling. I answered some questions about who the actual user base of this thing was, but I also gained many questions. I decided to do a little research on how exactly this thing works. Anyone who's got Tumblr can click on that Tumblr Live tab and quote-unquote go live. You can add bouncers to your streams who are essentially moderators who have the right to kick people out who are being disruptive in chat. There are some guidelines for streamers. No nude private parts, no hinting at nude private parts, nude but covering with your hands, nude but private parts are off camera, thongs, etc. No hard drugs or any hint of drug-related transactions, no promotion of pornographic websites or any other delivery of nude/pornographic content, no sexual gestures or positions even if clothed, no close-ups of private parts even if clothed, no sexually suggestive dancing even if clothed, no streaming in underwear, no bathing suits if indoors, no streaming from the shower or bath even if private parts are not visible, no using alcohol or drugs in exchange for gifts, no streaming with minors, no hate speech or other forms of bullying, no wishing death on anyone, no bashing groups of people in broad terms, no streaming while driving, no promoting alternate payment methods like PayPal or Cash App, no promising money or prizes to viewers for contests or giveaways. I watched a decent amount of Tumblr Live for this video. Not an absurd amount of Tumblr Live, but a decent amount of Tumblr Live, and I saw all of these things, nearly all of these things, maybe I missed one or two. I think what the Tumblr Live guidelines serves as is more of a bingo card. Go on Tumblr Live and see how long it takes you to get a bingo. I think if they actually enforced these rules effectively, they would cut their user base in half at least. So if you look at the top of your screen when you're watching a Tumblr Live streamer, you'll see that there's a few ways that streamers are ranked. You've got diamonds, favorites, and likes. There are also levels. Streamers can level up, and viewers can also level up depending on how much they interact with streamers. Tumblr is offering something called a top badge to distinguish the most accomplished streamers. As far as I can tell, no one has it. Unless, of course, that thing that says VIP beside certain streamers' names is that. But you'd think if it was that it would say top badge, or it would be like a little badge icon. But it says VIP. So if they're not the same thing, then what is a VIP? Great question. I don't know. It's not explained anywhere. Hi, me from the future here. Upon doing a little more digging, I found nothing about VIPs in the context of Tumblr Live. On MeetMe, however, it has to do with how much money you've spent on the app, the different color tiers that MeetMe outlined, the color of the VIP badges that matched what I saw on Tumblr as well. Here's the thing though, when I went to get screenshots of the VIP badges on Tumblr, they were gone. I know that there was a recent update during the process of me making this video, so I guess they got rid of them. Otherwise, I'm completely losing my mind. Tumblr Stop Gaslighting Me 2023 challenge, level impossible. Okay, back to the video. Tumblr Live has a leaderboard, so this is presumably where I would find these people who are the most accomplished at Tumblr Live. A lot of the people on this leaderboard, like in their Tumblr Live bios, talk about the top badge, how they want the top badge so bad, and they're here to achieve the top badge. You people are not Tumblr users. The majority of these users on the Tumblr Live leaderboard are inactive. You would think that since they've been inactive for presumably a few weeks or months, that they would be overtaken, their spots on the leaderboard would be overtaken by more active users, but that does not seem to be the case. It's almost as if they briefly brought over these huge audiences from other platforms that showered them in diamonds, only for them to leave. Meanwhile, it seems impossible for the average Tumblr Live user to catch up with those numbers. The #1 ranked streamer on the leaderboard, he's got millions more diamonds than even the second place user. His bio just says, "This app is dead." It's very weird. Tumblr Live features are just fucking weird and ill-explained. But we are not done. Because wait until you hear about the currency. You take real money, and you use that on Tumblr Live to buy credits, sometimes referred to as coins because they look like these little coins. Those are fake money. And then you spend your fake money on gifts to streamers, which are just these little animations that pop up on screen for a few seconds.
Live is, we're trying it out.
The streamer is then paid in diamonds, which are a different fake currency, and they can then exchange this second fake currency for real money. How much real money? Wouldn't you like to know? When you as a user purchase credits or other designated medium of exchange for digital gifts, credits on TMG apps or partner apps that may be used in Live, you do not own them. Instead, you receive a limited, non-transferable, non-sublicensable, revocable right to redeem them for digital gifts that you may use to give other users who are streamers. Credits and digital gifts may not be redeemed for any sum of money or monetary value. If you delete your account on the TMG apps or partner apps, your account is terminated for any reason, or your account is banned for using Live due to violations of our content and conduct policy, or any other reason. You will lose all accumulated credits without notice, refund, or compensation. Each streamer who receives receives digital gifts from another user on Live may receive a specified number of diamonds as determined by us. In addition, streamers may receive diamonds through other means in our sole discretion. Streamers may be able to redeem diamonds for fiat currency or convert the diamonds into credits at rates and at times specified by us in our sole discretion. The costs of the digital gifts that you give to another user may not correlate to the amount of diamonds or the amount of cash reward such user is entitled to receive from us. So,
when people send gifts, we get a portion of that revenue. And so it's something we're trying to help make Tumblr sustainable.
The only people profiting for sure from Tumblr Live are Tumblr when you spend real money on those credits. As for how much streamers are actually paid in cashed out diamonds, total crapshoot. There's an interesting post written by Tumblr user Ribbon explaining their experience trying to shake down streamers for information on this. They received an approximate diamonds to cash conversion estimate from a streamer. I'm just going to read their post for you. I didn't ask why people gave them money because that would be rude, but they did confirm my math for me. Basically, how this works is you buy virtual gifts and send them to these streamers, which you can only do if you have coins. To get coins, you have to pay at least $4.99 for 500. This post is a few months old. The current rate is $4.99 for 579 coins instead of 500. Anyway, bear with me. Up to $999 for 14,500 coins. The most expensive gift is a dragon, which they told me to gift them, which is 100,000 coins or $700. When a streamer gets these expensive gifts, every 0.0025 cents gets converted into a diamond. When they reach 40,000 diamonds, they can cash out $100. So this is an estimate that has come from a streamer who is making money on Tumblr Live, but it's still just an estimate. The only obligation that Tumblr has to creators that they've outlined in their terms of service is to pay them whatever they feel like. Apparently one person that Tumblr user Ribbon spoke to explained that they don't even really cash out their diamonds, they just use them to purchase gifts for other streamers, which I think it was saying in the terms of service requires you to transfer your diamonds back into credits, which are two different fake currencies, and that because you can only buy gifts with credits. Cool. I'm 87 years old at heart. So Tumblr Live has all these weird features that are barely explained and don't really make any sense in the context of Tumblr as a site and a culture. Tumblr Live doesn't even look like Tumblr. Like, just visually, like nothing about this matches the design or the vibe of Tumblr. You would think that if Tumblr designed this, instead of diamonds, it would be like crabs or something. Why have the leaderboard? Tumblr's literal best feature is that it doesn't publicly display follower accounts or create any sort of hierarchy between their users. Why is everyone on Live acting like a wannabe influencer, striving for their top badge? Like, the reason that Tumblr Live does not look like it was designed by Tumblr in any capacity is because it wasn't. They bought their live streaming feature from a company called the Meet Group. The Meet Group owns a whole host of streaming apps, which I will get into momentarily, but in 2019 they turned their streaming feature into a product called Livebox. It's a white label product, which means it's a product that is sold from one company to another to be used and branded however the purchasing company wants. According to the Meet Group's website, Livebox offers partners a turnkey white label video solution, an integrated monetized solution for brands and creators, an industry-leading safety framework that combines AI technology, and 500 plus human moderators to review all video, audio, photos, and text-based content created or displayed on the platform, dedicated talent to support, find, recruit, and promote content creators with a focus on developing quality content and driving community engagement. So the Meet Group sells this product, this live streaming feature called Livebox, to other companies. Tumblr bought it. All of these little terminologies and features and things that just don't make any sense for Tumblr, these are long-standing things that the Meet Group does in its apps. Look at these screen caps of the top badge requirements for Tumblr Live and for MeetMe, which is the Meet Group's main app. Again, we'll get into the apps in a minute. They are identical. Looks like the Tumblr Live requirements are a little bit more lenient. The bullet points are designed differently. Otherwise, it's the exact same colors. It's everything. They literally just slapped the name Tumblr on it. I am also very intrigued by this last point on the list here of like what Livebox offers partners. Dedicated talent to support, find, recruit, and promote content creators. Okay, is that how we got some of these people on Tumblr Live? Were they like recruited by someone who worked for the Meet Group? So who is this? The Meet Group. What are they about? What do they do? They released their first service, which is called MeetMe, It was originally called something else, doesn't really matter though. They released it in 2005, and it was a dating site. Its claim to fame eventually became this live streaming feature that it has.
So gorgeous right now.
Thank you, babe.
You are watching Haley and Kevin on a live dating app called MeetMe.
Did you just get on?
The couple met live online, with thousands watching and commenting as their relationship developed. The boss of MeetMe explained to me how it works.
Is really like speed dating, but with an audience. So people are queuing up to date the streamer, and the audience can actually comment and rate the contestant.
So is this more about exhibitionism and voyeurism, or genuinely finding a life partner?
I certainly believe daters no longer have the risk appetite for meeting many different people in person based on something as shallow as a right swipe.
From what I can tell, COVID was really good for this business model. Before researching this video, I had no idea that anything like this existed, and maybe you're in the same boat as me and this sounds deeply weird to you, but it kind of puts it into perspective. The Meet Group was bought for $500 million in 2020. So there's definitely something there. There's a lot of money being made off of this model. And they are certainly doing a hell of a lot better than Tumblr is. From what I understand, these days, if you're using MeetMe, like, you can still use it for dating purposes and, like, find people in your area and match with people and stuff. But there are people on it who are sort of, like, micro-influencers, very popular streamers who do make some amount of money on it. I was able to find this casting call for live streamers seeking talented people to be broadcasters and to help get the word out about an app by being ambassadors. Director of Communication states, "Do you like to entertain people? Are you energetic, fun, and love to engage with others? Or do you know people who are? If you answered yes to these questions, then the Meet Me Ambassador program might be the right gig for you. You can make money by streaming with us and recruiting other people to join you. Our top streamers earn over $100 per hour. Start streaming and referring live streamers to earn money and build a social following. Apply to be in the Meet Me Ambassador program. Compensation and contract? Not paid. For every person who you refer who earns 10,000 diamonds from live streaming within 30 days of joining, the company will give you $10 and give them $10 just for trying out the app and reaching 10,000 diamonds within 30 days. As the people you bring to the Meet Me app keep streaming, you'll be eligible to receive 10% of their earnings for a full year every time they are eligible to collect the check. So if they make $200, you'll get an additional $20. The company will pay you via PayPal. Okay, so there's a multi-level marketing aspect to this thing going on. Just popping in again to say, okay, so it's not really a multi-level marketing scheme. I misspoke here. They're not taking anyone's money. They're not scamming people the way MLMs do. They're just tricking them into using their app by pretending they can make money on it, which they probably won't make. I think it just reminded me of MLMs because it's the system in which they promise people they can make money in ways that they probably can't, and therefore the most reliable way for those people to make money becomes to recruit people underneath them whose money they can leech off of. So, you know what I mean? I think that's why my brain drew that comparison. As far as I can tell, that is not the case for Tumblr Live, thankfully. I mean, they haven't publicly said anywhere what a VIP is. So who's to say what's going on if they've really adopted all of MeetMe's features? Okay, but we're not done yet. We're not done with the twists yet. MeetMe's page on the App Store currently hosts thousands upon thousands of one-star reviews. People say that it is overrun with porn bots, that there's so many ads slapped on that thing they basically cover the screen half the time. The memberships are expensive, and on top of this, the app is super glitchy and barely functions. A lot of users are kind of mourning for it, saying that it used to be a really fun app that they enjoyed, but it's gone severely downhill in the past 5 years. Other apps by the Meet Group include Hi-Fi, Lovo, Growler, that's the one for gay men, Scout, and Tagged. Every single one of these apps is pretty much the same, but with some sort of gimmick to it, like Growler being the one for gay men. I've looked at reviews for all of them, and they all echo very similar sentiments. Sharply declining quality, way too many ads, expensive membership to get rid of the ads, overrun with porn bots that admin seems to be doing nothing about. So I only got my hands on Tumblr Live about a month ago when they launched in Canada, but American Tumblr users have been suffering through its reign for like a year now, which is crazy. I found some posts from American Tumblr users talking about Tumblr Live around the time that it was launched, and they intrigue me because it seems to have been worse. Originally, there was no way to navigate from watching someone's Tumblr live stream to going to their blog. Now, when you're watching a stream, there is like a view blog button that's conspicuously above the rest of the interface. When you go to the actual Tumblr Live tab, and like you're clicking around there, there's still no way to navigate to someone's blog from that. Like all you see is these weird Tumblr Live bios that they have. It's literally feels like a completely different website. In fact, one of the most popular Tumblr Live streamers does not seem to have a blog. She's inactive now, but like so are most of the top streamers on the leaderboard or whatever, and they all still have blogs. This streamer was somehow streaming on Tumblr without seeming to have a Tumblr account, which naturally led people to ask the question, wait a minute, are these streams even coming from Tumblr? Are these people actually streaming on MeetMe or one of the other spin-offs, and those streams are just duplicated on Tumblr to make it look like people use Tumblr Live? That was an interesting theory to me. And in my first foray into Tumblr Live, I observed a few things which seemed to potentially back this up, such as the fact that the streamers seemed to be reacting to a lot of messages that I couldn't see. There was a lot of viewers in the streams who showed up without profile pictures, and instead of being like those little shape icons that Tumblr uses when your profile picture is blank, they were just a generic one, which you never see on Tumblr. There was even a few streamers without profile pictures, although they at least did get the little Tumblr shapes. And then there's the fact that the privacy policy used to say this: when you use the Live tab, you may be visible to other users of other applications we own, or with which we may partner. For a list of current Live partners, click here. You may not opt out of this feature if you choose to use Live. I'm sorry, what? I found myself asking, like, how connected are Tumblr Live and the other Meet Group apps? Or how connected did they used to be? The terms of service no longer says that, but it is still interesting to me that it once did. And then there's all the conspiracy theories that you can come up with thinking about why there's so many empty, useless streams. It's important to note here that the view count number that Tumblr Live displays is not a count of current viewers, it's a count of total people who have viewed the stream. So it doesn't lower the view count when people leave. It's really just more a count of how many people have clicked on it total. So is it something to do with that? Is it to do with view count? Do people somehow make money on this? What is the incentive for pointing your camera at a wall for 2 hours? I'm just trying to figure it out. Or could it be even worse than that? Are some of these people you see popping up as Tumblr Live streamers fake? You click on this nice picture of them, it takes you to a blank screen with a chat filled with malware links like click here for hot women and 2,000 malware and die? Why? Or maybe it's not quite about money, it's more about clout than money? Are they just trying to get in streaming hours and view counts to contribute to their like top badge thing? Or level up, or whatever you gamers do? Or is it just something that people do, like they'll set up their camera, leave it empty for a few hours, and then they show up. And then when they do show up, the view numbers look impressive? Like I know there is this one streamer who is absolutely infamous for having empty streams. And I will admit, I've clicked on her numerous times because when her view count is in the thousands and everyone else's is like 30 to 50, yeah, her stream looks intriguing to click on, and then you click on it and she's not there. At this point, I had so many questions. So many questions. So I wrote up this little message, hi, hello, just introducing myself, explaining what I'm doing, and then listing some of the questions that I have about Tumblr Live. I began watching some streams, taking some notes on what I was observing, copy and pasting my little message into the DMs of the streamers if they seemed friendly and talkative. One of them actually acknowledged my message while I was watching his stream. I guess he saw it pop up and he was like, got a message from Tia, she says she does YouTube videos. And then he kind of just like squinted at the screen and then didn't read any more of it, confirming my suspicion that streamers cannot read. And then, after about 20 minutes of doing this, I noticed that none of the streams I was clicking on were loading, and I just kept clicking around and nothing would load. I refreshed the Tumblr Live page. It was gone. I had planned to sit and, at least in this sitting, message at least like 20, 30 streamers, accounting for the fact that probably most of them wouldn't acknowledge me. I managed to do 7, and that was when the Tumblr Live feature disappeared completely from my Tumblr interface. You know, the thing it is infamously impossible to do. I also no longer had any DMs. The messages tab was just gone. I got no notification, no nothing, no you have been banned from using these features for this amount of time for this offense, nothing. My blog did not show up in searches. People who had post notifications on for my blog were not getting those notifications. I could not comment on posts, not even my own posts. The live icon, this little thing here, is completely gone from the mobile app. That's like the biggest thing people are complaining about right now, is that it's still there even when you hit snooze on Tumblr Live. People cannot get rid of this thing. I don't have the stream recommendations anymore here on my dashboard. As you can see, I do not have it snoozed. If I click on the live tab on the side, it just redirects me back to my dashboard. I shit you fucking not. They have locked me out of live. I got my friend to attempt to DM me. I didn't get it, because I no longer had a messages tab. I don't know why I thought that might work. Like, what? What kind of dystopian? I think this calls for a little walk. A little walk outside time. Go outside. We'll calm down outside time. What freaked me out the most about this is that it wasn't like I was publicly posting, Tumblr Live sucks. I'm YouTuber Strange, and I think Tumblr Live is sketchy and sucks. And you should tell Matt to go. I sent 7 DMs. And they got me. Unless I began to think one of these streamers had been protecting their income source and had reported me. That started to seem more and more likely the more I thought about it. My brain was going to the conspiracy zone. What is it that Tumblr and the Meet group and Sexy Jennifer 87 don't want me to know? I realized that what was happening to my account fit very cleanly with the symptoms of shadow banning. Tumblr staff insists that shadow banning does not exist. That if you are having trouble with the features of your account, then it is simply a glitch and you should report it to Tumblr support to get it fixed. Which is some gaslighting, in my opinion. They don't like the term shadow banning, whatever. It's so Twitter sounding. They don't want to use that word. Okay, whatever. They absolutely do restrict the activity of accounts that they think are suspicious or that their filtering algorithm thinks is suspicious. Upon going through the shadow banning tag, I've learned that a lot of people have had problems with this. I did what everyone in that tag was suggesting I do to remedy the problem, sent in a little message to Tumblr support saying, hey, hi, hello, I think I got reported for non-valid reasons. Please let me have my DMs back. But in the meantime, I was not going to sit around and wait like a little damsel in distress for them to free me from prison. I needed access to Tumblr Live, and I needed it now. So I made this burner account called Mr. Father Strange so that I could access Tumblr Live again and also avoid getting my main blog reported multiple times, because I really did not want my account deleted. I thought maybe, my first post had been a little cold or formal or even standoffish. I don't know, I struggle with tone. So I started trying to think of a new way of saying things, a new DM message that I could send people, maybe one that was a little bit shorter. And then I thought, why am I bothering with this? What if half these people don't even really know how to use Tumblr? Like, why would they see or respond to a DM? What if they don't respond to DMs on principle anyway? Do streamers even know how to read? Why am I trying to dump paragraphs of text on them and ask them to write me an essay back? No. Tonight, we go straight to the source.
What's up, Mr. Father Strange? Hello, Mr. Father Strange. Welcome to Tumblr. Sure you can. Hit that favorite star for us. Oh, hi, Mr. Father Strange. I'm happy you're here. Welcome. Hello, Mr. Father Strange. How are you?
So my new tactic was to join some streams, wait for like a natural lull in the conversation, and then to say, hey, hi, I'm new here and I'm just curious, just got some questions about streaming. The first few times I was a little nervous and I was like, can I ask you a question, please?
Can I ask a question about streaming? Yeah, go ahead. Of course, you don't have to ask if you want to ask a question. You can just ask a question. You're not going to get in trouble here. I'm not going to be like, no, shut the fuck up. I would never do that to you. That's crazy. I would never treat you like that.
I asked things like, why do you use Tumblr Live? How long have you been on Tumblr? How did you hear about Tumblr Live? What other streaming platforms have you used in the past? I specifically asked about MeetMe and some of its spin-offs. I'd say I ended up speaking to maybe 40 to 50 streamers, which is not nearly every single Tumblr Live streamer, and there are definitely some mysteries that I have not solved, but I'd say I'm pretty confident in saying there's some that I have. When I asked why people chose to stream, like why streaming appealed to them, I got a lot of responses like to improve my social skills, to improve my confidence, to have some sort of company, to alleviate boredom, to have some kind of a social interaction despite maybe lacking a lot of IRL friends.
So I've always been on Tumblr and I'll continue to be on Tumblr. The streaming part is new to me, and I do it because it's fucking fun. I'm a people person, you guys, so I love meeting new people, having random conversations. And I work from home, Mr. Father Strange. So, like, This is some good socializing for me.
Most people on Tumblr Live seemed very happy to be on Tumblr Live. They seemed to be having a really good time. They were very friendly and welcoming to me as a new person. The people who seemed the most broody and jaded were the people who were obviously there to have some sort of a sexual interaction. There was this one guy who was just like laying in bed streaming like his legs and feet, like for feet sex reasons, and he was just there to encourage viewers to DM him for nudes. That was pretty much it. He did not love me asking questions about why he used Tumblr Live. I mean, I think we all know why he used Tumblr Live, but I would have liked his backstory. There was one woman who was offering that you could send her nudes and then she would rate your nudes for a monetary fee. One woman told me that she had originally adopted Tumblr Live so that she could push her OnlyFans content, but she had actually found it to be like such a fun and wholesome community that she no longer does that. She just hangs out. I believe she was baking when I dropped into her stream. I absolutely encountered some of these like non-committal fuckboy types who were like, I just stream like because I want to. We just chill, we chill here. We live vibes. And then they continue to sit there and like scroll on their phones or watch a TV off screen. Like, how are you managing to be antisocial on a live stream? For someone using a personality-based medium right now, your personality kind of fucking sucks, Jeremy. Those people, the Jeremies, they were definitely in the minority. Lots of people on Tumblr Live were very happy to be there and talk. The majority of people I spoke to either got a Tumblr account for the first time or revived their old dead Tumblr accounts specifically for the purpose of using Live. So I think we were absolutely correct in clocking that these people had not really been participating in the mainstream Tumblr site culture of the past 5 years. A lot of them were very eager to throw numbers at me. I've been on Tumblr since 2010. I've been on Tumblr since 2008. I've been on Tumblr since 2012, etc. But had they been the most active during all of those years? Had they really paid attention to what was going on outside of their aesthetic niches or a niche of people that they followed like 10 years ago? Not really. There was a few people that insisted to me that they'd been on Tumblr forever. They didn't come here for Live. They'd never been on any other streaming sites. And then I go to their blog and it's like a year old and filled with what look like Instagram pictures. There was this old man on there and I was like, okay, there's no way this guy's a normal Tumblr user. I want to know what's up with this guy. I want to know how this guy got here. So I click on this guy. He tells me he's been on Tumblr for so long. He just naturally came across Live one day. I go to his blog. It's empty. He follows like 8 people and they're all female streamers. I asked him how long he'd been on Tumblr. He said, oh, a long time. And then he just went, I don't want to give you any of my personal information though. I've already told you too much. And then my phone died. This man, he killed my phone with his mind. So some of these people, I think, were lying to me or exaggerating. There's definitely this perception that like there is some kind of clout attached to how long you've been on Tumblr. I found one person whose blog says Tumblr head, as if that's a word anyone's ever used. I found that a lot of the streamers referred to Tumblr, like normal Tumblr, as the blog part or the blogs. Some of them definitely kind of see it as something like separate and foreign to the live streaming feature that they use. And if they do use the blog part, it's mainly for images and screenshots of tweets. One thing I know that I really love about Tumblr is that it has the capacity to be like very text heavy compared to other social media. When I look at my Tumblr dash, I do a lot of reading. That's something I think of as very central to the Tumblr experience, but that does not seem to be the case for a lot of these people. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, all of the streamers' blogs I looked through, I almost never saw a long text post. It was only like short text posts that were a few lines, a lot of screenshots of tweets, screenshots of other sites, and mostly images, a lot of aesthetic stuff. Acknowledging that people have Tumblr experiences that are very different from my own. But to me, that still kind of feels like Tumblr is not your primary social media. You are kind of trying to use Tumblr in the same way that you use other social medias, which are much more heavily image-based and don't require you to do too much reading or be very attentive. I don't want to fall down a hole of like putting down people who don't use Tumblr exactly the way that I use it. Because of course there are many ways to use Tumblr, and a lot of aesthetic Tumblr is interesting. It's the combination of things. It's the fact that Tumblr can do so much, and that when people literally just use it for Twitter screenshots and pictures of beaches, I'm like, this is a little bit sad. I talked to one streamer who was aware of the kind of site-wide negative sentiments around Live. He again told me that he'd been on Tumblr for a very long time. He said that Tumblr was like his home. He said that he saw a lot of hate for Tumblr Live on his dash from his followers, and that he deliberately did not promote his live streams to his followers because he was probably going to get hate for it, and he knew that. He actually called me out for having a completely empty blog on my Mr. Father Strange account, which was then about 40 minutes old. A few people who were creators in the not safe for work realm told me that they had left Tumblr after the 2018 ban on anything vaguely sexual. They were now coming back, that there seemed to be an opportunity in this realm with Tumblr Live. The rules were getting a little more lenient again. There was one person who specifically told me that Tumblr Live was a lot more lenient than a lot of other streaming platforms. She might be shocked to learn that it's not. It's just really bad at enforcing its rules. So how much does MeetMe and its spin-offs and just the whole community around the Meet group apps, how does that really play into Tumblr Live? I do have some answers here as well. The reason that a lot of these people have got Tumblr accounts recently or revived old accounts, come back to Tumblr recently, is specifically for Tumblr Live, because they are interested in this kind of small-scale social streaming. Most of the Tumblr Live users that I spoke to had been on some other kind of streaming app in the past. They were very familiar with the selection of apps in this niche.
Mainstream platforms. I have been on Tag, and I've been on MeetMe a lot of years back, like 5 years ago. Didn't like them though.
Been on a few different ones. Some of them are owned by the same company that does the Tumblr streaming. No, actually, I heard about it from somebody else that knew that I was streaming on the other apps.
They also told me, as I had kind of gathered myself before from Google reviews, that these apps are going severely downhill. People are looking for alternatives to these apps. This specific feature, this type of streaming, like there's a whole community around it. There are people who really, really love it, and it's something that it's very difficult to find good versions of anymore. A lot of people told me that they heard about Tumblr Live from friends, that they were using other apps, they had social groups on those apps, and then someone from their social circle would be like, oh, Tumblr Live kind of fucks, and then a bunch more people would move over from MeetMe or Tagged or Kick or whatever to Tumblr Live. According to one person, he thought that the majority of people who had jumped ship from MeetMe had actually gone to TikTok, because TikTok apparently has a similar streaming feature. TikTok is definitely a lot more mainstream than Tumblr, but he said that Tumblr appealed more to him personally because it seems a little weirder and artsier, a little more intimate. I saw this one streamer that had like a massive neon sign behind her that said top badge. There was another person who was talking to someone, like just loudly having a conversation with someone who was off screen, not really paying attention. This guy was a bit of a Jeremy, not really paying attention to his chat or like anyone, but he was like loudly talking to someone off screen. And they were discussing like some other friend of theirs who was like trying to get their top badge or like deserved to get their top badge already. Both of these examples I think are of people who very clearly are also MeetMe users or former MeetMe users. Many people told me that Tumblr Live is actually an extremely refreshing community compared to a lot of these other apps. They said it had so much less drama, so much less toxic people, so much less predatory people. And honestly, they echo a lot of the same reasons for enjoying Tumblr Live that we have for enjoying regular Tumblr.
Why do I stream on Tumblr? Because Tumblr is such a low-key streaming. Like, Tumblr is so low-key. Like, a lot of people are still come on here, but a lot of people still don't. And a lot of the same people stream here on Tumblr. It is a community. Like, we are a very small community here on Tumblr. So, like, you know, it's better. I think it's better because we're small and it's just like people like us. What other platforms? Honestly, I only stream on here. And I want to continue to other platforms. But you know what? Like, on all my other platforms, I have family and stuff on there. And like here, I've genuinely built myself a little platform here where I don't have any of my friends, any of my family. So I don't have to worry about my friends and family like coming to my stream and being like, what are you talking about, or why are you saying those things? Oh man, all those people that come from Cake to be permanent to Tumblr either leave after a week or start drama.
I get the impression that Tumblr Live is very difficult to monetize. I wrote down a quote from one streamer. He was announcing that he was going to start doing streams at night in addition to streaming in the morning. And he said, if I want to make some money on this app, I have to whore myself out at night too. And that's like many hours out of his day, I would imagine. Like, the payoff cannot possibly be that good for the amount of hours you are expected to put in streaming. And most people I talked to seemed to know this. Money was absolutely not a motivation for most of the people that I talked to. Some of them didn't even really understand the diamond system, didn't really care. Like, there was no expectation to make money.
I'm also wondering how people get paid from streaming. I barely understand this one myself. People can make money from it. I don't think anyone currently is really making money for the sole reason of there needs to be spenders for you to make money. And there isn't a lot of spenders. You can make money, yeah. But it's not very much. Or at least you have to have a lot of, like, an extreme amount of people donating to be able to. And the translation of, like, the amount of money that you would send as a viewer to me getting it is, I'm getting pennies.
Going into this, I had this perception of streaming as something that influencers do, or something that you do because you want to be an influencer. But this is different. This is streaming as, like, regular people's social media, which was kind of strange for me to wrap my head around because I've literally never heard about this before. But this is, people are just publicly streaming to just chat with their internet friends. Even people who are on there pushing their OnlyFans content or other sex work related content, they get banned so often that like when you get banned, we read it in the terms of service a minute ago, when you get banned, they take all your diamonds. One woman literally told me, like, she doesn't really pay attention to her diamonds. She doesn't really care because she knows she's going to lose them when she gets banned. And she gets banned a lot. The only way that anyone I spoke to knew to make money was to get diamonds from gifts from viewers. Nothing about view counts or streaming hours. Nothing about inviting other users and making a portion of their revenue. Nobody knew about anything like that going on. Who are the Tumblr Live users? Who are these people? That's the question that I entered this video with. Who are these people? Well, I think I can tell you. They are refugees from the MeetMe cinematic universe, as well as Kick and other streaming apps which have become low quality or toxic communities over the past couple of years. They are small or just starting out creators, podcasters, gaming streamers, sex workers, who want to use this platform to promote their content on other sites, or to hang out with their audiences and build that parasocial something. They are also Tumblr users who just stumbled across this feature one day and decided to use it. Whether that's because they've been using Tumblr as Pinterest for the past 10 years and they had no idea that there was a site-wide hatred for it, or maybe because they dabbled in MeetMe a bit 5 years ago and they thought this might be kind of fun and similar, so they tried it out. So there you go. There is still that leaderboard, that baffling leaderboard filled with weird influencer wannabes. You guys are not going to believe this. This is crazy. But Tumblr is kind of terrible and unprofitable for influencers. Where have we heard this narrative before? Tumblr is great on an interpersonal level, but completely inhospitable to influencers. That age-old Tumblr narrative. I did do a little digging on two of the people near the top of the Tumblr Live leaderboard. Well, one of them was the person on the very top, and the other was the person on there who did not seem to have an account. They ignored all of my messages on various platforms, so I don't have answers to some of my most burning questions. But what I do know is that they're both Twitch streamers with small but not insignificant followings. They are attempting to go the influencer route on this. They're attempting to profit from this. And I assume that a lot of other people on the leaderboard were in a similar boat and simply found that Tumblr Live was not worth the effort for how small the profit was. Were they recruited or paid in diamonds or even in real money by someone at MeetMe to join? Maybe. Why does one of them not seem to have a blog? I'd say my leading theory on this is just she deleted her account after she left Tumblr, and doing that does not necessarily remove you from the Tumblr Live leaderboard once you're on there. That's probably the reason. That seems like the sanest explanation. Ultimately, I could not find any reliable evidence for people streaming on Tumblr without having Tumblr accounts, which is to say streaming from some other platform and having it somehow connected to Tumblr. I'm certain that that's not happening now, and I don't think I would be confident in guessing that it has never been the case. I took a look at all of those screen caps I took of people showing up in stream chats without any profile pictures. I took every single one of those URLs and I typed them into Tumblr manually, and they're all real blogs. Some of them even have profile pictures, and I guess it's just a glitch that they show up without profile pictures. The fact that live just doesn't work very well it's frustrating to streamers too. One person told me that she was frustrated with the fact that there's not nearly as many features on desktop as there are on mobile, and that she also is a little weirded out by the fact that a lot of people who join her stream show up not having any profile pictures or Tumblr Live bios. It kind of just makes them seem like creepy strangers. Questions do remain, however. Question number 1, why do the stream previews on my dashboard always... Why are they so hot women in your area coded? I actually had a few streamers themselves tell me that this was kind of off-putting and kept them from using live for a long time. There was one woman who, she said the first time she saw it, she thought it looked like Tinder. I do conspiracy theorize in my little brain that Tumblr is definitely pushing streams with like hot woman profile pictures attached to them on people's dashboards more often, because when I look at the Tumblr live previews on my dash, that is pretty much exclusively what I see. But when I click on the Tumblr Live tab and look through like everyone who's live at the moment, I see that the user base of Tumblr Live is actually a lot more diverse than that. There's a good amount of men. Not everyone looks like an Instagram model. Some people even have memes and characters as their profile pictures, like you would expect on Tumblr. However, you would never know this from just looking at the Tumblr Live previews on your dash. There was one streamer who told me that she's mainly interested in streaming for gaming purposes. However, she's losing interest in Tumblr as a streaming platform because she finds that women who have more provocative profile pictures or who promote OnlyFans content do a lot better than her on this platform. I wonder why that is. I wonder if that's because they're plastered all over everyone's dashboards all the time. As for my shadow banning, I received an email from Tumblr staff only a few hours after putting in my support request. They informed me that I had violated the spam policy by sending the exact same DM to 7 people, and that they would remove the limits on my account, but could I please not do it again? And that was literally it. The most mundane possible explanation. Tumblr Live. Tumblr Live. It's attracting new users. It's re-attracting old users. It is potentially very profitable for Tumblr. And I would say, with the exception of a few broody, horny people really do enjoy Tumblr Live. Like, people who are on Tumblr Live love Tumblr Live. For people who are seeking out that kind of streaming, it apparently provides a really fulfilling community and wholesome experience. Does that mean it's for everyone? No. Definitely not. It does not appeal to me one bit. I have spent the last 2 weeks listening to people tell me how amazing it is and how much they love it, and I acknowledge that, yeah, this is some great socializing for a lot of people, but I think it would make me into the Joker. And yes, it is obnoxious the way that Tumblr is shoving this new feature down our throats. They need to completely rework the way that they are marketing this thing to existing users. If they can even recover it at this point. I think a lot of damage is done at this point. Like, half your user base thinks this thing is illegal in Australia. As usual, Tumblr has created something surprisingly quite good that is really meaningful to a lot of people, but then they made it just kind of fucked up. This entire time we've been talking about Tumblr Live as if it's like this foreign parasite infecting our site, and like it's completely different from Tumblr. But it's not. It's just Tumblr.